What kind of eggs? What happened?
One of the artists.
Oh, I show. I seen him.
Oh, that was
Yeah. And he was, but he said he liked it. He said he liked it. Oh, this is cookie shit.
Like this so much, you apologize 20 times.
All right, we live, dog. Just so y'all know, we live on.
I'm on this side of this side.
Whichever side you like. You here first, so pick what you like. Who that? How y'all doing? Yeah, that's good. That's everybody right there, right? Oh. Oh shit.
Nah, you ready? Ready when you want, Craig. Alright. Freedom in jail, clips inserted. A baby's being born, same time a man is murdered.
Yo.
Getting an end. As far as I know, it's only natural. I explain my plan.
About to go live.
What defines my game? First it was nasty.
You about to go live.
So my close shot, flatline my shade.
You can park practically wherever. It's Sunday. We'll park in front of the driveway, but then we're in the driveway. Now you just come up the one flight of stairs and you'll be on the first floor. It's a building. Just text me and I'll see it, and then I'll get you. If you get in, it's just room 109. Yes. Planets in orbit, line them up with the stars, talent cards, you can see the pharaoh eyes. Iron Mike, Messiah type, before the price, after the death, the last one left. My cash invested stock, can't go away from last. Checks on plots, but you say good, Mr. Yeah.
Check. 1, 2. Yeah. L in the building. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good enough. Stop.
Everything done. Fine.
Yeah.
My success to you, even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is. Just like life or death.
Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Yeah.
It's a good kind of feeling. Yeah, I like that. Students in the building.
This guy.
Mr. L knows people can stand up sometimes to come here for some reason, not necessarily do one on bad one. What up? All my friends in the building. Talk to them. What's up? Yeah, hanging out. Get the commissioner back.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. We live before the live. You know what I'm saying? Catch all of that behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, what's the line?
Fit it in?
Right now. There you go. Done.
Look at that.
Bling bang boom. It's the Stella Steph show.
Just falling on the track. Oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna do this way.
Yeah.
I come like mics in my face.
You can take while you're doing all of that. Take it out.
Yeah, the whole yeah, that's Wi-Fi. Yeah. That's just yeah, because microphone on my face is just like you can't even see me.
Me.
What's the trade here, man?
Say it again.
The Wi-Fi?
Me.
A whole lot of them. I'm like Chris Money. Corporate accounts from a rich company. I'm like ecstasy for ladies. I'm like all races combined in one man. Like the 99 Summer Jam. Bulletproof on man. I'm like being locked down around new faces. Another one fan. I'm the feeling of a millionaire spending 100 grand. I'm a poor man's dream. Much love poet. Limited, I write it down and I watch it grow up. Y'all know what I'm like. You play it in your system every night. Now, just like life or death. Poetry's deep, I never felt. That's like affirmation. Death. That's like life or death. Poetry's deep, I never felt. That's like death.
Yeah.
An afternoon cup of coffee, decaffeinated with the Swiss water process.
Yep, with decaf beans from my favorite roaster.
Actually enjoys
We're gonna do
it.
start off with music first.
It's chemical free. So,
Well, I was gonna do the new song we released, but she's not here
which
yet.
is fine.
So I'm gonna open it up
It's the
with
Swiss water process. You're going to have to
one
say it.
of
I'm not Swiss.
Ready to try
Mr. L's
delicious
jump
decaf?
start.
Or visit
Doing that?
chooseswisswater.com to learn more.
Which one would you like to, what's the debut as an intro of this first episode of 2022? Yeah, how did I forget? How did I forget? How did I Mantra for the year. How did I forget? That's what you're playing.
I was about to ask too.
That's a commercial. You fucked with that. You fucked with that, man? Well, the low niggas be listening to country music and shit like,
Go catch him on camera with that
you know, I think about the Martin Lawrence episode when he's doing that. Hoo-ha! Hey-ya! Oh shit! So we back, y'all. You know what it is. You ready?
I love to get happy. I get happy.
All right, so start off there. Okay, got you. Ready? Mm-hmm. Un momento. Got me a little nippy zippy.
All right.
Count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I love to get happy. 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 I dollars about to pay some rent. Okay, just made $1 from my 15 cent. My lady got my back, so I took that to the cent. And I know how to act, cause I got that sense. I like it, I'm happy. I like it, I'm happy. I like it. Mama said if I knew better, I'ma do better. Dad said this day ain't the worst, it's gon' work. Uncle John called, I could tell him, made him so proud. Didn't tell him what I did, that story got around. My daughter told me that I could be so touchy. She still smiled after telling me that she loved me. Told my son that I love him and it don't feel always got the crib and some whips, please don't do a hot like it. I love to get happy. 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 $1 about to pay some rent. Okay, just made $1 from my 15 cent. My lady got my back, so I took that to the cent. And I know how to act, cause I got that sense. I like it, I'm happy. I like it, I'm happy. I like it. Got a big smile while I rub these 2 nickels. Cry for success, don't leave tears on the tissue. Challenge my fears while dodging those issues. Pull up with the team in the bus that just passed you. Feeling like the plug, they showing the love. It's hard to give up, we don't need your stinking love. Got my friends up front, resources all we want. Flex on a Saturday, don't pay for the holiday. I'm happy. I love to get 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 happy. I got a couple dollars about to pay some rent. Okay, just made $1 from my 15 cent. My lady got my back, so I took her 2 cents.
I see what it do.
Yeah.
I see what it do right there. You know what I'm saying?
2 cents.
And yo, yo, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the first episode, Stella Steph Show of 2022. I'm your boy, World Rama, and I happen to have a guest host in here with me today. His name is none other than Rakim the comedian.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
we out here, we live, you know what it is, Stella Steph Show, Groundhog Television, S Street Media, we in the building. The first song that we introed the show with today is actually a song from MrL, aka Elmore Beats, aka Saturdays with MrL. We got this guy in the building, and he's definitely working.
Yeah.
He's definitely moving around. We're gonna talk to him about his whole project. We're gonna go into a couple songs with him. We're gonna let y'all know what he's doing, what he's been doing, what he got going coming up. And we're gonna get into a bunch of new records. We're gonna get into a new record with me and Leash. Leash will be here in a little while.
Hold up.
Me and Rakim, we got a lot to talk about this. If y'all don't notice, we got some awards that we just got. You know what I'm
I
saying?
saw that. You posted that early. Congratulations, man.
We got some awards.
I saw
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
Where yours at, bro?
It's home. Mine is home.
Shout out to Place the Mic. Shout out to Place the Mic.
Shout out Colors, Blaze the Mic. She just was in the live on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We're showing, we got one for the Stella Steph show. And we got one for World-orama, outstanding media work and musical accomplishments. I appreciate that. And the Stella Steph show. It's our second season. This would actually be the beginning of the third season, wouldn't it? It's a new year.
Yeah, word.
I think.
Thank you for having me. I've been on. I watch. You know what I'm saying. I've been seeing the pictures. I see you grinding.
Yo,
Do
Rakim,
your
man,
thing.
I fucks with you, my nigga, because you know what? There's not too many comedians that can just go to events and wing that shit. And yo, you be winging that shit, like not in a bad way. Like you're not a comedian that has to write down his shit and go and say it. Like you know how to go there and you can talk about what's going on in the fucking place and it be funny. Because there's comedians that be at places that be having a written shit and they don't be funny.
Right.
But you be having niggas dying laughing. And you got more of a kind of comedian type of, some people could take this shit the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes the truth hurts, but it'd be funny. So
Exactly.
shout out to you. Since we was at this award show together and we was both getting awards and me and you have hosted so many events together, I felt that it was only right that I bring you on the show. And not only bring you on the show, but you co-host with me. Because I knew Stella wasn't coming. I knew she wasn't coming today.
Okay.
Shout out to Stella Steph. She having like family situations. And well, she's at a funeral right now. She just lost some brother and sister-in-law. And rest in peace to them.
Yes.
And it was a rough Christmas for her and stuff like that, as far as family members is concerned. But you know what I'm saying? I want to give my condolences out to Stella Steph. So
yes, I know, family.
Peace and blessings to you, and the year turned out even better. From you know what I'm saying, they're now watching over you for angels and stuff like that, as angels, I should say. But back to the award show. So, Rakim, like, what did you think of the award show? And this was Colors BTM, Blaze the Mic Awards. And what did you think about it, Rakim?
Well, besides the fact that it started late.
But that's normal.
Yeah. Other than that, I thought it was cool. I mean, I had a great time. So it was one of the last events of the year. You know what I'm saying? What we've all been going through. So I went and just enjoyed myself, to tell you the truth. So
yo, is it not funny as hell that Colors can pull up and like halfway through the event and the shit still turned out to be popping? Like whatever she do, because everybody was already partying. I got there like 2 hours late anyway, because I already knew she was gonna be there.
Yeah, me too.
I got there about 72 hours late.
So we got there and we was partying, drinking. Shout out Nat Fisher. Shout out Pretty Good. Shout out all like the goats that was there. It was really nice. And when she got there, as soon as she got there, she started the show. The mime guy came on and you roasted his ass crazy. I mean, shout out to the mime dude. You roasted this motherfucker.
It's the only mime that I do that talk. Right. I was like, I had a full conversation with this brother. I was like, you forget you got the white mask on your face?
Yeah. Yo, bro.
Makeup on, he was gone.
You at that time I was still outside, you know what I'm saying, drinking or whatever. Because in the RL hotel it's the lobby and then it's the back hotel.
Yes.
Little yard. So everything was practically together, but we had like little drink and smoke areas and then sit down areas. If it was cold, you could sit inside. So it was nice, Colors. You did your thing with that shit. Like I appreciate that.
People showed up. People showed up. Yeah, it was definitely packed.
She always had that shit packed. Shout out Blaze the Mic Awards. That shit was fucking lit, man. I thank you for the awards. Y'all see, I got my shits right there.
Yeah, he has.
I was trying to get out there, but I had that trip out to Gary, Indiana.
So. Yeah. This Mr. L right here, y'all. This is
Gary L. was in Happy Gary in Indiana. Yeah. With Reggie Miller.
The birthplace of Michael Jackson. Thank you.
Yeah, he's like,
that's what the book took me.
Yo, but what brought you out there since we on that now?
Oh, we had to do a New Year's party for the Hard Rock Casino. They got a new casino that just opened up there in May. So who opens up a casino in the middle of a pandemic? But they did that, and it was kind of lit. It was crazy.
Was it
Like,
packed
oh
in
my
there?
God, it's nuts. The casino was. You would think during the pandemic you can't pack a casino. Somebody lied.
When it comes to
Somebody
when it
lied.
comes to getting money,
Get money, right?
I don't think nothing is
Yeah.
stopping that because this whole pandemic shit is really about money.
Yes.
Like it's the little people, the little mom and pop stores who had to shut down and lose money. It wasn't about their money. It was about the bigger pharmaceutical, governmental type of things. Their whole plan.
I mean, everybody had some kind of come up during the pandemic.
I ain't even gonna hold you. Like the pandemic wasn't bad for me. Like my money was not fun.
Oh, well.
And it was like, yo, to be honest with
I
you,
had some breaches.
nah,
Yeah,
yo, real talk.
yeah, I was like, yo, where is all this money coming from?
Yo, and I didn't get no PPP loan. I wasn't able to get that. I wasn't able to get unemployment with the extra 600, 1,200 a month type shit. I wasn't getting none of that.
1,200 a week.
I was grinding my ass off.
Yeah, bro. There was a lot of dudes out there in the hood.
Gladys.
There was a lot of dudes out in the hood scamming cats too.
Yes, there's a lot of
I'm gonna
scamming
help you
going
out with your unemployment. These brothers never worked a day in their damn lives.
Yeah.
But everybody had unemployment, and that's where all the scooters and motorcycles came from. You see the uptake in that. I'm like, yo. I'm like, oh Lord, the dirty gangs are out.
Yo, I
Ain't
ain't
none of
gonna
them brothers clean.
and they always allegedly bikes though.
Yeah,
Oh, hold
no.
up. So you saying they with that unemployment money, they was buying official dirt bikes?
Oh yeah, come on, man. Everybody came up with that.
But you know what's fucked up about that? Police was taking dudes' bikes and crushing them with fucking construction machines and shit. So you was spending your money on that shit, and they was taking your bikes and crushing them.
Well, look, I just always seen them laughing at police like they didn't care. Like, yo, them dudes on them bikes don't care about nothing.
See, but you didn't see that. You didn't see the backstory of that.
Yeah.
How their bikes was getting taken and getting crushed at a garbage heap or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's foul because a lot of them bikes was 1,200 and up.
Oh yeah, well,
you was wasting like a whole check plus your extra incentive money on a bike when they caught you for this shit. Because police knew how to zigzag and catch a few people. They don't know how to block off a couple dudes.
Yeah, because everybody's not a professional.
Hey, when you ain't got a driver's license, you gotta get around. Get a bike.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's really dangerous about that though, because I was thinking about that the other day, because I drive a lot, and all these people with these scooters and these little electric bikes with no insurance.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Right out there, real dog and earth.
Yeah, like I have to pay my insurance. You should pay yours. You hit my car, I'm done. Like, yeah, like, what am I gonna do?
Nothing you can do about that.
Exactly. So yeah, you know.
Oh, you forgot you left something out, world.
What?
Congratulations, 17th anniversary.
Yes.
How you like that? Happy 17th anniversary.
We was gonna get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I skip the
See, you a host for Saturdays with MrL, so you're a host too. You can't just be like a guest.
You know why?
So I just, we gonna host it today. We all gonna host it.
All I'm saying, if you leave a pocket of air for me to go ham and say something,
it's gonna be
I'm taking that.
There it is.
Congratulations. I see the cards up. You got the house in the back.
Yeah. Those is cards we just leave around. Those is like memories.
I'll put that in my pocket. I got my memorabilia.
The host retired. They ain't rapping.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say.
What?
You're the youngest rappers in history to retire.
They just said a house retired.
Yeah, they
actually did. I ain't gonna hold you like they are not rapping.
So that means you need to have some more kids, so you have some more house at work.
No, that means I'm just gonna put out more music.
They're gonna make a half 5 and 6.
You know what? I think they just retired because I worked them too hard.
Yes, you did. They were like, Daddy, this is your dream. We want to play 2K.
But that's funny though. It wasn't my dream to have them rapping. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go get.
Yeah,
a lot of artists they come in there with the intent to do the work, and when they see how much work is involved, and how much needs to get done to polish yourself and condition yourself to be an artist that can be lucrative.
Right.
When you see that, then some people be like, nah, bro, that's too much work for not enough.
Yeah. And look, that's
not
like
true.
Michael Jordan's son. If you Michael Jordan's son,
I
you
watch
have a lot
artists
to
get
live
up all
up
the time.
to. So, the Harvest, you've been out here grinding forever, so they have a lot to live up to.
Yeah, but them little dudes,
and they've been doing it,
man. I was paying them at every show, man. It was actually at a point.
It wasn't enough, man. They wanted a raise, bro.
Nah, it wasn't even about the raise. It was that. It was, you know what? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people never really know the backstory, but it was a lot of things going on behind the scenes with because they got different mothers.
Oh.
So it was like me bringing them together to do these shows, and then now they got to be around each other.
Snap. I didn't expect to get the real life story of world around me in the house.
That was crisscross for real.
Yo, but I'm saying when you on the Stella Steph show, you get the real deal.
Rolling Stone.
You get the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just come in and just be regular. Watch out for the cameras, y'all.
Put his raps, he rolled.
We got Leash coming in, and Mrs. Fundamental. Watch out for the cameras, y'all. Just come on past.
Television, the Stella Steph show.
Yeah. I said, come on, Leash, watch it.
What's up, Leash?
She got the fundamental
Mommy Queen.
Wow.
You should be rocking that flowers right now on the entry, man.
Nah. See, they walking in while we already going live and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna bring them in at the first music break.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, it's deeper than rap.
Is it?
You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than rap. So I feel like them saying, you know what, Dad, we want to chill right now. It's more things in their mind that they thinking about than what I'm thinking about. And me understanding that, I'm like, all right, fine. So it's still going to be a horse series. Actually, this week will be a new horse series dropping where I'm discussing and we talking about things that we've done, or you'll see past shows.
The Huff series, I don't know about the Huff series.
The Huff series is actually, the one season is already up out there on Facebook and it's on Roku. Long Island Entertainment. And that series is about me raising my kids. Wherever I go to their school, doing little school.
So you out here like Reverend Run.
Yo, basically, I'm like,
I didn't know about that. See, why didn't you tell me about that? You was on my show. You ain't talking about the Huff series.
That's all I've been talking about with the horse. That's it. But this will be the second season.
Okay.
And it'll be about the horse and everything that we do as a family. And sometimes it'll be some drama. You know what I'm saying? So it's a backstory behind them now with the rap anymore. And they'll talk about that.
Is it it's going to be the series? Okay.
Yeah, you'll see different things in the series that'll be
cool.
Problematic for y'all to understand why they don't want to really come out.
I saw the soft re-release of the Christmas record.
Yeah, well, it's not even a re-release. So those 4 records that they got out, those songs will be out there forever until they decide to do more music. Okay. But if not, that's all you have.
Okay, what's the 4 records we have? You got
Every Single Day.
Every Single Day.
The big record they got out. Gonna Win is the first record that they did. The Christmas record that you saw of, and we have the Charlie Says, the record that they did in your studio.
Oh shit, that's right, recorded in Moby Studio. That's what's up.
And there's a whole backstory behind that too that we could get.
Oh man, do we really want to talk about that recording night? Do we want to talk about that song?
Season 2.
Yeah, man. So that's basically the situation with the Hawks and stuff like that. But as they get older and they feel like they want to do it again, they'll come back and do it. But for right now, Hawk for Corral, he's 9 years old and he builds like TikTok pages. So he you can't go live on TikTok unless you got over 1,000 followers. Now he built his first page and he got over 1,000 followers, man, fast. I'm like, how you getting all these followers so fast? He's like, Dad, I know how to edit up and make stuff. So, but TikTok found out that he was young, so they banned his page. He cried a little bit about it because he was sad. Like, how they gonna ban me? You know what I'm saying? So he went in.
After I got up to 1,000, exactly. It took you to me to get to 1,000 people before you banned me.
Right.
Well, you know,
a little suspect in my opinion.
That's because once they see them going live, they realize, oh, this is a little kid. So I hollered at the biggest family on TikTok, the D'Amelios. Right. And I was like, yo, Mom, what's up? Put a word in, like, let them know they banning my little kid. Like, so he was like, you know, it's like if you're underage.
If you're under 13, you can't have those social platforms.
So I'm like, why would they wait till he over 1,000 followers? He was like, sometimes it's the algorithms. That's how they caught him. So you know what this little guy did? He went and started another page.
And said he was 18.
Yo, he know how to freak it. So I'm like, yo, this little 9-year-old be editing up little videos that's predatable to now. This little guy is back to over 1,000 followers again. My first page, I'm still not over 1,000 followers. I'm like 700.
And why is he managing your TikTok?
I told him, I said, yo, bro, I said, sell me that page. I said, yo, remember what he.
Oh, you finessing the sell?
I'm finessing the sell. I'm trying to teach this little dude how to sell shit. So you see, Russell, all I say, you build something and you sell it. What that shit get big enough to make you make a profit,
make money,
you sell it. And that's what I'm showing. Right? So I'm like, yo, how can you sell me that page, yo? So he like, nah, Dad, I want this one. I want this. They didn't catch me on this one. I want this one. So I'm like, yo, so you need to manage your page for
Catch
me.
him now.
Yo, in less than 5 minutes, this dude went and started me a page, sent me the password, everything link. I was like, Dad, work on that and I'll help you with it. Like that fast. So this guy is like a little like, yo, he is such a little genius that I don't care if he raps, honestly, because there's so much more I can do with him. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as Hall 3, he's 13 now, and you know what happens when you turn 13. Oh. You're into girls, and you out there, you trying to do this, and you trying to do that. So he all of a sudden feel like he don't want to rap no more because his brother don't want to rap. So they was cool and comfortable doing it together. So now that he's 13 and he's into girls and all this other stuff, he like, Dad, you know what? I don't really want to disappoint you, but I don't want to rap like that anymore either. So I was like, all right, cool. So I said to him, I said, so what you want to do? He
There's
said,
a backstory to that when you smacked them too.
Right.
He was like, what you say?
Yeah.
All this time and effort I put into you.
Yeah.
So you ain't got the Joe Jackson energy.
No, I didn't Joe Jackson him.
Get back in line. Tito, Jermaine, come out that damn room. Oh, yeah.
Yo, you saw World's faces now. I'm trying to get it, but it flex back.
You know he ain't taking like that.
It ain't work.
You know he ain't taking like that. Look, them kids were scared to death to tell you they want to rap.
Exactly. They was scared. I ain't gonna
I know they were.
I'm scared to death, but
Like, oh, Lord, we got to have this conversation.
I didn't Joe Jackson him. But I told him, since y'all ain't rapping no more, if you don't go out and work, you don't eat. So whole four is not eating, not food, but I mean money.
You trying to correct that? Hold up.
Let me think about that for a second. Now you ain't fucking eating.
Sandwich yesterday.
No more CEO. Food levels is a wrap. So Hall 4 says to me, he says, Dad, I want to get that new game, but if I don't do no shows, I won't get paid. So he said, I needed to do 4 more shows to make enough.
That's how it's supposed to make, though. That's how it works.
So I'm like, so you know that now, huh? He was like, yes. I was like, so now you know decisions that you make in life. You gotta deal with
When you
those.
quit, you quit.
You quit, you don't get paid. That's right. What it is. So he was like, oh man. So he thought about it, but his mom's waiting, babied him up and bought him whatever. So you know how it goes. It's relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 parents here. I could Joe Jackson all day and be mad and do whatever and make them feel like, yo, you're gonna feel this if you don't do this. But there's always another parent to, go against you and do whatever they want to do.
But you need a balance. So
exactly. So, and I ain't mad at that. My main objective is being in their lives and being a father to them and them knowing me and me leaving them something. What I'm teaching them now about business and learning how to do business, and if you quit, you don't get paid and stuff like
navigating that.
These are lessons that they'll know ahead of people when they get older. Because if I knew all of the business shit that I know when I was younger, just coming in the game, I would have been a millionaire already. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good that I'm their father and I'm there with them teaching them this stuff, and they know each other because they got different mothers, and it was easy. It's easy for a father to not let their kids know each other, or be around each other, or be in a group together with 2 women that ain't getting along with each other.
So nobody told you it was cheaper to keep them.
Sometimes it's harder to keep them. Sometimes it's harder to make them stay. Sometimes it's harder to make them stay.
Some man says it's harder to make them stay.
But my main objective is being a father to my children no matter what. So
now you always and
I love all of the mothers too. I appreciate all of them for having children by me. You know what I'm saying? Doing the best they can and assisting me in being parents with this child.
Yeah, I know a lot of fathers that don't have the ability to co-parent.
Right.
Like congratulations on that, man.
My father. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his ass. Him and my moms couldn't co-parent, so that turned into me not knowing his ass. So it happens.
I don't even want a parent. I don't even
Apparently.
Y'all give me comedian mothers. You know what I'm saying?
What she said. That's it for me. That's daddy business. Like, go ahead. Your mother said it. Go ahead. It's cool.
So basically, ultimately we started off. We was talking about the BTM awards.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got your award. What you got your award for?
For my comedy accomplishments. What the fuck was that?
You accomplished a lot of
things. I'm just like, yeah, okay. She didn't know what to write at that point.
You accomplished a lot in comedy.
Yeah. Yes. No. She. It was interesting.
You're still alive?
The first one I got was the best comedian, like the newest, like new joint, 2019. She gave. Then she should have.
I don't think I was at that one.
I think that was in Brooklyn somewhere.
Yeah. I don't think I was at that.
But she had 5. I was like, okay, I know you 10 years. I only been to 2.
Yeah, I've been to a Thanksgiving one she had one year.
Right.
And I've been to this Christmas one right here. And I've been to a lot of other events.
See, right.
We always, actually, me and you was always hosting a lot.
That's what I'm saying. She only had 2.
World is so supportive. He came out to my year-end event, my More Beach year-end celebration about 2 weeks ago.
I ain't gonna front. When I walked in y'all shit, and I seen all of them sandwiches and everything sitting around.
Oh, yeah, we gotta feed people, bro.
The first thing I thought about was the commission.
Yeah, because I always yell at her.
Yeah.
Food is
about overfeeding people.
You can't overfeed people.
Yes, you can.
You have to have enough for everyone.
No, you know what? He is correct.
I mean,
it
costs a couple dollars.
Here's the point. You ever been to a barbecue in the summer?
Yep.
And they don't get burgers.
People call you and be like, yo, what they got? Make me a plate. And they ain't even there. So you can't overfeed people.
Okay.
You might be feeding people that ain't even at the party.
Well, that's
I've seen a lot of sliders, a lot of wings.
Gotta feed people.
I've seen a lot of stuff, but you know, the only problem with that was that I wanted to eat some, but it seemed like it was out there already, and people was kind of iffy about touching it after it was there. Because when you first walked in, you see food, you're like, oh shit, there's food everywhere. But then you look at it and you be like, damn, is this dude sitting over it? People who got their stuff over.
Wow, he just destroyed that whole buffet.
I'm saying,
he was like, y'all fellas, let me tell you something.
I wasn't there early.
The pandemic, the buffet ain't the same.
So, nobody knows buffet. Yo, but listen, when I came, I was like, yo, this is dope. I was like, yo, they definitely did it right. The performance was lit. The groups was dope. The commission performed, and I was so surprised.
Yeah, she's part of one of the 15 albums that we put out this year.
Yo,
the record label put out 15 albums this year. That's right, More Beats released 15 albums this year. And that's what we were celebrating the 15 albums produced by More Beats. And Jerry was on the track with one of our artists.
And that was the commission.
The commissioner, sorry. Jerry Get It Done. Jerry _ Get It Done, aka the commissioner of More Beats. I can tell you a funny story about why we call it the commissioner. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Yeah.
So I had 2 artists in the room that had Instagram beef. You know, it's not real beef. They just kind of coming at each other because they both want to be my proteges. I mentor a lot of young artists coming up, and they were supposed to be following each other on social media,
right?
But they did at one moment, and then another moment, one of them chose not to follow the other. And then he made a post about one of the tracks he was recording. So months later, we all forgot about it. Water under the bridge. And I got the artist working in there, and the other artist walks in. He goes, yo, bro, we need to talk about that you did on Instagram. And he stood up. And now I'm looking like, oh, it's about to go down in the studio. You know, I'm sitting there like, I love both of y'all, so let's see what happens. You know what I mean?
So you gonna let the spark?
No, hey, sometimes the spark needs to happen in order for the energy to pass through. The commissioner immediately goes, yo, why don't y'all just settle that in the booth? And I'm like, okay. Now they're like, yeah, we gonna go bar for bar. They're recording the record. She had already sent the chirp out to another artist that something was going down. Mind you, I have a producer project that I work with called Bass Violator, right? And one of the artists' name is very close to his name, but not the same name, right? So she called in the other artist. He come running down there like something going down, right? She goes, yo, I heard he had a problem with bass. But it was the other artist, and he's sitting there like, yo, you chirp somebody? You sit there, and then it was the jokes about, then they started calling her Commissioner Gordon because she was sitting for Batman. And now,
that's why you got
now she's the commissioner of More Beats.
Yo, the commissioner kind of fit you though. Like
commissioner.
When you think of the commissioner, you think of somebody that gets shit done. You said it.
Commissioner.
The commissioner does not get shit done.
Oh, you listening to the record. All right. Hear Me Roar is available on streaming platforms. Serious Voice. Go get that.
Yo, that's dope. See, that's the beauty. It always, whenever you say, send that ad, it can happen.
Yeah.
So, and back to what you said about sometimes it needs to happen for people to understand.
Yes.
Back to what we was talking about the fucking
First of all, it
colors.
was you talking about it.
The crazy thing is,
you
all
know,
all the things that happen now need to happen in its infancy. Like when we're building stuff, all the stuff that might happen after the big checks come need to happen when we ain't getting the big checks.
Exactly.
You get all that energy out the way.
Yes.
So when you got
Exactly.
$2 million on the table, it ain't at risk to getting screwed up because we dealt with that situation. We know how to get by it when somebody put money in front of us.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So it needed
But
to
see,
happen.
the problem with that is that before the millions come on the table, some people's getting hundreds or thousands, and they feel like they're bigger than what they are. And that be the problem. So you gotta alleviate those motherfuckers before it gets to that. Because to some people, hundreds of dollars and thousands is a lot to them, as opposed to you looking at millions and billions.
Since you went there,
Yes.
let's talk about the concept of my album. So on the cover, on the album artwork is on my chest right here, I'm wearing my Jumpstart t-shirt.
But the picture you sent us was you like working on a car.
But yeah, that's press release images. But this is the album artwork, and it's a bus. So yeah, I guess the image that I sent you was a picture of me. That was gonna be the original artwork, but then art direction by 1335 Clothing Line. We came in and we did this collaboration t-shirt to Long Live Phoenix. Shout out to Long Live Phoenix, 1335 Clothing Co. We came up with this t-shirt. That's me jump starting the bus.
Okay, cool.
I'm jump starting the bus. So when I talk to my crew, I talk to them. I say, yo, listen, you either on the bus with us or you're not on the bus. And it's okay for you to get off a stop, meet us at another stop, and get back on. So that's why we jump start 2022.
So I like what you said right there. So you're okay.
I'm okay with temporary seats on the bus because I always got somebody to fill that seat.
Right, but if a person gets off the bus, are you willing to let that person get back on?
Absolutely, if the seat is vacant.
I'm about to say,
there's 59 seats on some buses, right? As we go from stop to stop, some people come off, some people get on. Some people come off, some people get on. But in our road, we're at different stops toward the goal.
I like how
so if you are at the stop that we're at, you're welcome on the bus. But you got to be at the stop.
Even if that person was already on the bus,
they can get off at stop 10. But if they are stop 40, that means they worked their way to stop 40. They just did it without me. They get back on the bus. If a seat is available.
Well, see,
if a seat is available.
He doesn't have a local.
No, it's called a mentality. When each stop is a mentality level. Every stop is evolution of what you are becoming as an artist or as a person. So if you're at stop 40 and I see that you're at stop 40, hey, get on the bus, bro. It's a seat. But when you get off, remember, somebody is waiting to sit in your warmed up seat. If you get off,
you know what?
And it might not be there when you get back.
That's kind of like the concept of you with the Hawks. Like they may jump off now, but they may come back later. So you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely right. But those are my sons.
That's hard.
And I would always welcome them back on my bus.
So that happened with my brother this year.
See?
That happened with my brother this year.
My New Year's resolution
he got back on the bus.
He got back on the bus. Sometimes it's also family too. If you get off that bus and we ain't working out, ain't no next stop for you, my nigga.
Well, that's why we got the guy here that's ran over by the bus.
Yeah, see that. And then you know what I'm talking about. Look, we're gonna go on this. We're gonna come back with more of this. We're gonna go into another record off the Jumpstart project. We're gonna play the new record with me and Leash after, and we're gonna have Leash in here too. We're gonna talk more about it. We'll be back with more of this the Stella Steph Show, Groundhog TV, S Street Media. Elmore Beats, Rakim the Comedian, Leash. We in here. What up?
What up? What's poppin'?
Okay, sounds plain. Oh, it's not? Boom. Let's do it again. Oh, it's your selection.
It's in the wind. I see the rain in the wind. I can't complain cause the wind. So what we want is made in the wind. Hey, I live in the wind. It's in the wind. In the wind. My pain lives in the wind. Found out I can't control it all. Found out I don't have to fall. Found out I can't follow y'all. Found out I'm the one that made it stall. Found out I'm working too hard. Enough to make those calls. Found out gold is some control down from the fall. Get back to it, reset. Get back to the project. Task, make profit. Got that accomplished. So we love those notes. It's the first rejection. Used to suffer this pain. Now the room takes that away. I leave my pain in the wind. I can't complain cause the wind. So I leave all this pain in the wind. My pain lives in the wind. Let it go, let it go, let it go. In the wind, let it go, let it go, let it go. In the wind, let it go, let it go, let it go. In the wind, let it go. My pain lives in the wind. Let the drama go away. Feel the breeze of the same. Inspiration's my flame. Keep what hurts in the slang. That's why it's the ring. Keep the cheer. You don't see this grand. Celebrate the fame. Just cause I light it up in the wind. I leave my pain in the wind. I can't complain cause of wind. So I leave all this pain in the wind. My pain lives in the wind. In the wind. In the wind. In the wind. My pain lives in the wind. Enjoy the breeze, it's just a memory. Excel and freeze, enjoy the breeze, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. In the hell with ease, enjoy the breeze, it's just a memory. Excel and freeze, enjoy the breeze, let it be what it's gonna be. I leave that pain in the wind. I hate that I pretend that the pain won't connect to my friends. Just wanna see us win. Just wanna see us win. Just wanna see us win. I won't blame. The pain stays in the wind. I leave the pain in the wind. I can't complain cause of wind. So I leave all this pain in the wind. My pain lives in the wind. Gotta let go, gotta let go, gotta let go, let it go. Gotta let go, gotta let go, gotta let go, let it go. Gotta let go, gotta let go, gotta let go, let it go. Gotta let go, gotta let go, gotta let it go. Had to let it go. Learn to let it go. Had to let it go. The pain needs to win. I leave the pain in the wind. I can't complain cause of wind. So I leave the pain in the wind. My pain lives in the wind.
Sugar that street beat, shout out to Five. Just in the background. Fundamental production, y'all see the shirts. You got yours on too, right? They're playing their new single, No Limit. What up, y'all? This is MrL, pushing out with beats. You know, we do the drama. It's got a steph show. Sipping my tea.
Black man say looking great. Of course he
I
will.
will have what I want. Take everything
I got it.
Cause I'm a go-getter, go figure about my fingers and chips. And I'm hungry, I know nigga, once I be in my kids. Generational wealth, it's education and health. That's why my presence is felt. I grab the mic in the mouth. Fundamental, track blessing, not to mention studio sessions. This all evil is weapons. Get the step and I learn a lesson. Curious towards Jefferson. I keep the door as I want it. I'm not just bragging, I'm flossing. And you just mad as I'm talking. You get trapped, so stop fronting. And I'm so clapped as we bustin'. None of my team got the touch. That's word of my mother, father, my brother, sister, and cousin. You thought you was, but you wasn't. That rope just really be bugging. These nuts you really be hugging. Just stick to the script and you making no limits like Master B. I run first with the verse instead of J verse bars after me. Blaster E, spitting phlegm, QGTM, quick get the money.
You can have what you want, there's no limit.
Go, Lee.
Go and get it. Don't you give up. You can have what you want, there's no limit. So go and get it. If you want it, it's waiting for you.
God, listen, yeah, the devil got my mind torn. I'm just trying to boo, baby, got the wrong
Run it, yes.
Sing along too, but maybe have the wrong song. King in my city, call me Thunder J. Kong. Sky's the limit. I'm a star in my own space. They want to judge quarters in order. Yeah, I'm okay. Stop playing. Put my name up in the Hall of Fame. The only one to pop out the bunch. Special vein.
I like how you
I'ma
say
teach you how to ball. Know the day. I put feeling in this shit, so yeah, I know the pain. Like I'ma get it. I know these haters ain't with it. And once they never admit it. Every show I'm a killer. You can have what you want. Sky's the limit. I watch niggas give up on this shit cause they didn't listen. I had to go my own way, go different paths. Couldn't rock with certain niggas that'll never last. Yeah.
You can have what you want, there's no only no again. It's such a game.
Alright. Yeah. So that was a new record from Elmore Beats. Mr. L, that's The Wind.
The Winds.
And that was the joint
I leave my pain in the wind. I can't complain cause the wind.
You produced all of the beats?
So I leave all this pain in the wind. Yes.
You did every last
I produced every track, wrote every track. I got a track on the album called Ghostbusters because niggas thought I needed a ghost. So I wrote a track called Ghostbuster because Jumpstart is the fucking Ghostbuster.
Look at that.
Jumpstart, I don't need a ghost producer. I don't need a ghost writer. And I ain't afraid of your ghost. I ain't afraid of your ghost.
Sony Publishing?
Yeah, of course. Because I have a publishing company that's been open since 1998.
What,
and
was you through
yeah.
BMI, ASCAP?
I'm an ASCAP guy, but some of my guys are BMI. It's okay. We have BMI companies, ASCAP companies. We need both companies available.
So I know there's producers and managers out there that take from their artists. So what kind of producer are you? So I can send
everybody that works with me gets what they're entitled to. The splits are accurate. I don't work with anybody that don't have an IPI. So if you ain't got a publishing society representing you, you can't even work in my studio.
It is.
I just don't do it. I just don't do it. Like the way we get our money is through an IPI. So as soon as they walk in, yo, you got publishing? Nah, go to one of these websites. Because you can't, technically we're not supposed to solicit either or.
Okay.
But hey, these are companies that can manage a pro. You know what I'm saying?
I see that.
So when somebody say, oh, you manage your PRO, go do that. You know what I'm saying?
See,
so
FYI,
lesson learned. Yeah, but when you come to More Beats, I show people how to turn music and sound into a monetary value. They try to devalue our sound and our music, and I understand it because the bigger businesses need to devalue us so they can pay us less. But we need to remind them that this energy that people are experiencing, this music that we're transcending, the sounds and all of the energy, like I focus very much on energy on this album. It's completely about songs that are close to what an F minor song would do to people. And I studied like what happy records do to people. And some people came to me and said, yo, the album's not personal enough. You don't hear enough pain. That was intentional. This album was designed for people to be inspired. That's why I got songs like In the Wind, My Pain Is Left in the Wind, The Ghostbuster, that idea. I wrote that record because I had a difficult moment with a close friend of mine. And I'm working on the album. I had a very difficult moment with him. And I don't know, in the middle of like trying to translate in my mind why it happened, I was like, holy shit, bro, why you mad? You forgot that you was happy. And I wrote a record and I made sure that the lyrics were A, B, C. Y'all gonna know why I'm happy because my mom's told me some things, my pops said still some things. My Uncle John called me the day after that event, right? And said, he lives in Florence, South Carolina. Right. My cousins, whoever, I never told them about what happened. He called me and said, yo, I just heard about your year-end event. I heard you had your 15 artists on stage, that they smoked it. I heard the biggest night. I heard you got outshowed by some women that did Hear Me Roar. Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. Yo, that Hear Me Roar, that moment in the night, it was iconic. Shout out to Serious Voice, Mika Ave, and the Commissioner. With that moment of the night, bro, the building was on fire. Upstage.
It was almost stage like this. Hear me roar!
It was nuts, bro. You were there, you experienced it. The place was upside down. Cameraman got pushed to the side. I got cameraman, like, bro, I almost got it, but all the women pushed me out the way. Yo, it was crazy. I got an edit coming out to shout out by Shots by Jay. He's doing a dope edit to a review tonight. That's coming out soon, and the world is about to experience what it is. And I'm working on a documentary because this journey this year has been crazy. I mean, yeah, 15 albums in 1 year, man. Congratulations, crazy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He's working, bro.
Now I'm just trying to stay focused. I got the goals ahead of me, and I'm just trying to check the list because there's a lot of times it's really about the task and how you handle them. Like once you know what the goal is, now you got to figure out what tasks are associated with the goal. Now the task you check on, as you go through the task, you realize, oh, there's subtasks. Oh, I can't handle that task. I should do those right there. So now the list becomes longer and longer. Me and the commissioner go through this all the time. Right. We want to accomplish this. We write down everything we think we need. Right. And then along that task list, there's other things we didn't think about. And we just keep going and going and going and going. And then when you check the stuff off and you do one at a time or do 2 a day, you be like, damn, I'm closer to my goal than I thought. And a lot of us stop ahead of our goal because we don't realize we've checked everything on the list. Exactly. Like the moment is right next, it's right tomorrow. You're going to get it tomorrow. And you just forget. We've seen the meme with the guy hunting for the diamond and he's breaking underground. He's breaking underground, and he's like 2 inches from the diamond, right? And then somebody else come right behind him and say, "Yo, somebody mines here," and he stopped working, and he goes in there, hit the thing 2 times, and get the diamond. Yeah. All the work you've done when you stop, somebody's right behind you with your process.
That's how I
waiting to take that opportunity. Every time, so I want everybody to understand this. So you guys listening to me, every time you quit, somebody's right behind you watching your process. Because they want to be like you. When you give up, you hand them your opportunity. Stop giving out your opportunities. You did the hard work. Go get it.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, you saying that though, when I talk to the Hoffs about them not wanting to rap no more, I tell them, I say, yo, you know how many little kids y'all inspired to do music? And
inspiration is what it is, bro.
And I see so many little kids now doing their thing. And I'll be just looking at them and like, yo, they all kind of, the Hoffs spark all of this shit.
Inspiration.
You beat the boys up, right?
He's like, we're going to call him World Old Jackson.
He's like, the Hoffs, just like I told him, you can't give up on your dreams because you made people have dreams, but now you gave up on your dream.
No, they just want to do something.
Hey, listen, we're all out here. We're all out here making blueprints that people can follow.
Right.
Yeah, we all out here.
My daughter does gymnastics. I'm like, I tell her mother, the day she get that shit up, boy, I'm gonna be like, she became a kid again, because you know, parents push you to do something, and she's good though. My daughter's awesome. She's really awesome.
That's just a sacrifice for what you want.
Push her to be in gymnastics, or she wanted to do that?
She always wanted to do it. And then I just opened up the door for her. I found a spot, you know what I'm saying? Power Move, shout out to them, you know, Black owned. And they've been rocking with her ever since. She's been like 5 years in. So, you know, she only 11 right now.
So we'll see her in the
next time,
in about 2 more years. Not because those Olympic people, they be like 14 and 15.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying she's rocking, but I'm saying she has time to make her choice. You know what I'm saying? I just want her to still be a child at the end of the day because, like, since we're talking about it, you know, a nice segue. Simone,
Simone Biles.
Like the Tokyo mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? Because they pushed the children so hard to do these things.
So and now you understand why I'm not really forcing them to do it. Because I noticed that when I force them to do something, when they get on stage, I don't be wild out. So I'm not wild out about them. I know the crowd's looking at them like they on stage, not really just doing it, and they're not really
going through the motions.
I don't like that. I don't like to be on stage. You know, I like to perform.
Yes,
I notice when I perform. You know what I'm saying? So if they get on stage and they're not performing like how I think they should be performing,
it's like, it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not forcing y'all to do this shit, but just know y'all ain't gonna get paid for not doing it.
Exactly.
That's just like when me and Leash won the event that just happened in December.
Yeah, congratulations.
We're going to Miami.
Congratulations.
50,000. And as soon as I told
that's coast to coast, right? Yeah. Shout out to I did some shows with him back.
So as soon as I told Horse 3, I was like, yo, me and Leash won y'all show because it was a Horse show. I had that set up for a long time.
and they didn't want to do it no more. So I was like, yo, Leash, we gotta go and do the show now because I already got it on the table.
I mean, you know, sometimes they pass the blessings to dad.
Exactly.
See, there you go.
So we went underground.
They did all the work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you notice what
Dad came right in and got the diamond. I mean, aren't you glad you got the diamond instead of somebody else? There you go.
There's also lessons in this. Because when I told Off 3 how we won, and he was like, "Oh, Dad, that's dope. Oh, when we going to Miami?" I said, "We." I said, "We." Hold up. I was like, "Wasn't you the one that said you don't want to rap no more?" I was like, "You're not reaping the benefits of these shows if you're not doing them. Like this was your show. You didn't want to do it. You passed on it. Dad took it over. So me and Lee took the victory, and we're going to Miami."
Congratulations on that. When y'all going to Miami? When y'all doing that?
We actually got to pick a day, right?
I think that's like next year sometime.
I think it's this year, but it's like later on in the year.
This year.
But that's like we just played the second song after your song. We just played the newest song that we got called No Limits.
No Limit.
You know, like I think me and Leash, we make big records together. We make records that's like they're not the little kid records that you know people is making nowadays. Like you making grown up music. Like we out here making grown up.
I'm still trying to translate to the youth though. I'm trying to find a middle ground because the thing is I don't want to forget them because they are you know I feel like they are the ones to continue what we want to build. Well, so it's like when I'm gone, so I do a bit of what I do is in translation to because the other 3 albums were a lot more complex in lyric composition and kind of like that hip hop vibe. So when I did Jumpstart, it was the last record before it started. There was one record on the album called Don't Judge Me because the artist on it said, "Listen, Al, I can't do the song with you unless you give me something that's got the Meg Stallion vibe or something like what you know what's going in the club like now. Erica Banks don't bust it and all that." So I said, you know what? I studied the sound. I listened to probably 1,000 of those types of records, City Girls and all that shit. And then I came up with a track for her for the album. And I love what I became on the record because I was like, you know what? If I'm coming from my perspective of hip hop and I'm doing hers, I said, you know what? You know who used to do these vibes? Too Short used to do these vibes. Ice-T used to do these vibes. So I said, I studied those 2 guys because that's kind of like my kind of like my angle of my version of the rap shit. And I was like, let me bring that in and do that.
You're doing a little bit hard. You're rapping a little bit harder.
I know that was dope. No, yeah, absolutely. Because growing up, I didn't like them as rappers.
Right.
So like, I don't get it twisted. I was no fan of Ice-T. I was no fan of Too Short. The Commissioner is an absolute fan of Too Short. But right. Well, I never listened to their records. Like I never really enjoyed the shit. I never thought that they were
right. But I never thought that they were good lyricists, MCs. That's right. They put on for their city.
I mean, like you know, so when people come to me and ask me about do I like a record, I tell them that all music is about relativity. Like a lot of people put pressure on people to be lyricists and to be different versions of what they want to become. And be what you want to be. Like if you want to be bar heavy and bar savvy, you go do that. But the reality of it is, it doesn't matter how bar savvy you are if you're not connecting your bar savvy and your thought process to the audience. We forget that there's an audience to consume the content. Exactly. So I always think about we are servants to people. Right. Our records are supposed to be part of people's. Like a song is a time capsule. Yep. So you write that song for people to share. Like a song like Flowers is an ultimate time capsule. You use that for where it needs to be used. People put it, inject it into their lives the way they want to use it. And then you just keep finding the groups that enjoy the record. That's what record labels do. They find people that will connect to the record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't put any pressure on anybody to be like, yo, you gotta be lyrical. Yo, you gotta be that. Yo, be what you are. Just make sure you know your audience and you're talking to your audience the way they want to be spoke to. Right. And the stories are relative.
But what you said now, because what you're saying now, I agree with 100%. But then what you said earlier is like, you want to kind of transcend it to like the more of the younger market. But me, I'm like, if the younger people don't get my shit, there's people that's in their mid-20s to their 50s that are fans that still like the type of music that elders make.
So I stay true to my process as the artist that I am, while understanding that as an artist that's growing and developing, I have to always look for a new audience to make it bigger.
But you being a producer, you can bring in new younger artists and produce for them.
That's why we have 15 albums.
Right. But see, that's what I'm saying.
So my music can do that.
Making music
no,
yourself.
my music can definitely speak to the youth.
Okay.
Like I think that the biggest myth in music that a 40-year-old guy can't talk to a 20-year-old. That's the biggest myth in music.
Yeah, I'm never saying that we can't, but you
Yeah.
gotta make it like you said.
I'm not afraid to. I've been told by my mentor that can't be done, and I said I'm gonna show you it can be.
Okay.
So you know what? Since we got your perspectives on this, what do you think?
Ladies,
yes, let's get some estrogen in here.
Come on, ladies, what's happening?
Come on, Miss Colorful. With the fundamental shirt on.
I like the older music.
See?
But some of the young music I can't get with because it's just not my speed.
It doesn't translate
Yeah, it
to
don't
what
translate to me. Like,
lives
so I go like trap, not into all that trap music or just this younger sound. I can listen to some of it, but then after a while they all start sounding the same to me. To me, the younger music, the younger artists lack creativity to me. They all start sounding like they all on one machine.
It's funny you say that because I just saw MC Light on Nick Cannon's show. And MC Light said the same thing. She said, I have nothing against trap music, but she said in her era, there was more creativity. She says the trap music and the drill music now, it sounds good, but after a while, everything starts sounding the same.
Yeah.
But you know, every generation of music has that flaw.
Right.
Every generation. It's not like what we're going through now in terms of songs sounding the same. It's translatable to every generation of music. It's just which songs do you
know, bro.
Every generation, every single generation, every single. I can take you back to. Let's take hip hop. Let's take hip hop off the table. Let's take hip hop off the table. The 70s Motown sound.
Yes.
It was driven completely off of a formula and a process to create those type of records to capture Detroit sound and Chicago sounds.
Okay.
Everybody in the Philadelphia sound. It was pushed through the engine, and people, and most times in the 70s, that one song went to 5 different artists, and then the record label decided who got right. Tell me how many people did the exact song of Through the Grapevine.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
See,
and in every
then it was white groups stealing songs from
but there was black groups stealing from black groups too.
Of course.
Let's keep it clear. Let's keep it clear. Let's keep it clear.
Like the business is dirty. Come on, let's be clear.
Everybody was fighting for their moment. When you look at reggae music, the dub plate thing, straight up, everybody just rocked on the same beat till somebody was the hottest. That's just straight up what it is.
So hip hop did derive.
I think sometimes we put too much restriction on hip hop. I think sometimes we need to let hip hop have its wings.
Exactly right.
Like
don't
put it
in
a box. Like the idea of genre to me is just really, bro. You either like the song or you don't. Before hip hop started, before hip hop was given the name hip hop, people liked everything.
Right.
And they grabbed, and hip hop was created by taking samples of records that had that one moment that everybody liked, and they looped that shit. So it was a lot of whack ass records that got hot because of hip hop, because that one section was great. Right. That one section.
Right.
And they loop it.
The one section. Yep.
Like so I'm saying, like the sort of fundamentals of hip hop itself is international. It's international. So I'm like, we're not boxing in. Don't box in hip hop. Let it do what it do. These kids are doing something interesting. I always find that one to go, oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's the one that's different. It's the one that stands out.
No, not necessarily.
And that's the one that's the one we looking for.
It's not really different. It's a better approach. Like either they take care of the sonics of the record, they mixed it right. Like Pop Smoke, 50 Cent, shout out to 50 Cent. He put what the kids was doing with the trap, Brooklyn trap, and the UK drill sound, and he took Pop Smoke and said, let's put this into the record label engine and make it sound translatable to people that don't understand trap music and drill music.
It was already hot before 50 jumped on it.
No. Wait a minute. No, it was hot. We're talking about hot versus translate and connect forever. There's a lot of niggas that was hot temporarily. We're talking about 50 helped that project grow legs where it's there forever.
Because once you put that machine behind it, of course.
It's not just the machine, it's about taking care of the mix. It's about understanding the words. It's about understanding the audience.
Let's keep it 100 here. You know, a lot of these older rappers, veteran rappers, or veteran executive music people, they only jumping on what's already on fire.
Right,
keep it 100.
But then you take something that's on fire, right? And then you put it through a process that it can survive over time. Like when you listen to a Michael Jackson record, the amount of times that Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson spent on those records, it's an interesting documentary called Off the Wall that Spike Lee directed. And they talk about the relationship between Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson creating that album. And it changed how I think, because sometimes we're in this rush society where we think we gotta get the record out and done right away, that we don't pay attention to the nuances and the technical side. I was training Long Live Phoenix today about the idea of what are you mastering for?
Right.
The difference between mixing a record and mastering it for a platform. How will the other platform treat your record?
Right, right.
I know what that song I gave you sounds like on the laptop. I know what it sounds like in a club. I know what it sounds like in the car. I know what it sounds like on an iPhone speaker. We don't take the time to do that. That's the difference between Pop Smoke and the other guys.
Right.
That's the difference.
You're like a fucking hip hop fucking professor.
Bro, I'm traveling for it.
10 albums.
So when I went to London
in
October, I met some friends that ran the studio called Pirate Studios. And I walked in there and I was like, you know, a lot of these, you know, studio builders like this one here just have a lot of rooms where people just build studios, right? And I go there and these English guys got a whole building that you could rent for $8 an hour that's already set up with HSA speakers, professional microphone, Scarlett interface, come there with your laptop, got a monitor there, grind your music out. I'm like, what? Who thought of this? So I'm like, yo, I found somebody who had like a youth program out there. And I'm like, yo, let me get some kids through this so they can see that their ideas could happen for $8 an hour because I thought it was so amazing. Right. And I started this program called Art of Completion in London. And I mean, it just took off. It got me some dope connections at Sony UK. And listen, it's about if you have an idea. My mentor told me that everything, even down to this thing that's holding up this phone, was created from the inception of a thought.
Yep.
That's everything, even the microphone I'm holding in my hand.
Right.
It came from there. This is the fruition of somebody's thought. So sometimes we just gotta respect our thought and figure out what we need to put in place to do that. That's why I started the class. Because I didn't want to teach you music. Nah, I'm not gonna teach you music. I'm gonna teach you that anything you got your mind on, make a task list, learn how to complete it, get it done, push it through something you know it's gonna be forever.
You know what's so crazy you talking about that? Because like for New Year's Eve and New Year's, I was home. I was home editing stuff, watching TV, chilling with the fam. And I was watching this show called Insecure with the girl Issa Rae.
All right, it's supposed to be the last season, right?
Right. And she kind of was like touching on what you talk about right now. Like,
oh, well, I took a master class, so.
Yeah. In LA, she's doing like a non-for-profit thing on the show.
Shout out to her.
Showing that, you know what I mean? She's trying to teach kids music and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, it's crazy that I was just watching over this weekend and talking about
I try not to focus so much on the technicalities of the work. I just try to say, get it done.
Can we teach our children more than music and basketball, please? Lord have mercy, but everything is a commercial. Like, you ever see a commercial and be like, are they targeting me? Because there's always dancing and in the aisle, do the electric boogie, get the.
That's just a Facebook pixel. What the hell you watching online?
It's be like, yo, can we teach our children?
All right, I got a question for you, Rakim. Because you just finished saying how your daughter is a young Olympic protege, gymnastic, right?
Right.
So is it anything different from basketball and gymnastics?
Yeah, because I teach her what the schools don't teach her. I teach her things like education. So let me tell you something. Before she even goes to any of that gymnastic and any of that extracurriculum activity stuff,
right?
She knows about herself, her history, how she is as a woman, education, learning math, like how to count, how to do this, and all the things that you guys are speaking about. Because I'm just saying, like, she may change her mind and what she wants to do. She wants to be a doctor. She wants to help people. So her vision is a lot more broader than just the gymnastic thing. I only brought that up just to say, because that's just another aspect of the process and how parents
learn the process. Individuals,
right?
All avenues covered.
Exactly. So you want someone must say, okay, she can flip, but she don't know how to count.
She ain't got common sense.
Right. You ever see a child on TikTok and people be like, yo, what? Do you know how to read? You know what I'm saying? Like, people judge. And we are in a judgment society. Like, let's just be clear about that.
But they can say the same thing. Do you know how to edit video?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she said that to me. She said that to me today.
Okay.
You know how to edit video? You don't have to do it like this. Just like your son found a way to find out. Now TikTok ain't all bad because they do teach you some things that you can really
TikTok is one of the #1 social media sites out
It's
right
actually
now.
#1. It just surpassed Google 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, see, now
Google and
they
YouTube
wanted to
is
get
search
rid of it.
engines.
Remember
Let's
at the time.
get right.
Well,
they consider search engines.
TikTok is also now considered a search engine because people search TikTok more than Google now.
And
That was the story that
and
was
the
just
content
published.
on TikTok
People
lasts
search
longer.
more on TikTok than on
Like,
Google.
No,
that's crazy.
if you look on TikTok, you can see a video longer. Like it'll get more shine on TikTok than any
Yo,
other.
I swear to you, that is so true because the dumbest videos on there get 53 million. I be like, yo, are you serious? Like, yo, some of the videos are really like,
I don't know.
come on.
I like that
Gotta
one
get
that
your
people be
money.
dancing to the African beat. I
I
like that one.
guess we gotta put our video out there on TikTok. We gotta put our video,
Now,
right?
TikTok is the new way.
No, Flowers is
It
on
is the way.
TikTok. Like,
I
people
know,
can,
TikTok.
It's the
okay.
way.
yeah,
It's the
Flowers
way.
is on TikTok. People could go on there, do a dance to Flowers.
Okay.
And it's
Do
on
you
there.
have a Flowers dance?
Not really.
No.
What kind of dance can we have to Flowers? Give me my flowers. Like, what we gonna be going like this?
Two-step. I don't know. Two-step. Do three-step.
I mean, you remember that TikTok where people were just passing, was it makeup to each other or passing
So you
items
can
to
pass
each other? Pass flowers to each other.
We need to try
Hello.
that.
Look at us.
Sir,
Pass flowers. There it is. Pass flowers.
Maybe people just passing blunts. Like, give me my flowers.
I wanna keep it PG. That's it for the kids.
No, flowers is legal. We legal.
No,
So,
I'm talking about pass flowers. You can have kids passing J's on TikTok.
That's what you doing. Whatever goes viral. Whatever goes viral.
Oh, man.
We gonna do no limit. I'm gonna do a no limit video. Let
Yeah,
that go.
do another version.
Yo, speaking of flowers, I want to go into that. We're gonna take a music break real quick. We're gonna go into my flowers with me and Leach.
Lee's ready.
Oh, y'all performing and everything? That's what we do?
No. We just gonna play a record. We're gonna play another one of your records.
Okay, let's go.
And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk more about why you want to perform, because you can perform.
I'll do perform. I'm a recording artist.
Okay. But we're gonna
You can do something else.
This is the
I
Stella
got a lot of
Show.
energy.
I see. That's good though.
What's in that cup?
Just peach green tea.
With some brandy.
I wanted one of his nips.
Yeah.
I'll usually bring a big ass bottle of liquor, but I was trying to hurry up and get it. I didn't think we needed to get saucy.
He looked at that bottle at home and said, nah, not today.
I got 10 bottles now.
I know, and you still ain't bring it to us.
Next time. So we gonna go.
Yeah, I know, right?
I knew Rakim didn't need to drink nothing.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm so.
Word.
I'm ready to get out of here.
So
We're gonna do a recap of the year, like.
we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna go into another jumpstart record from Elmo Beast, and we're gonna go into Flowers from me and Leash, and we're gonna be right back with more Stella Steph Show. The first episode of 2022. Groundhog Time. Thanks for having me, bro. Ghostbusters, yeah.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
They said I need to go.
I need to go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all swing on your hair again. The team said, I'm going to chase the ghosts. Just remember, jumpstart is the Ghostbuster. And I ain't afraid of your ghosts. I ain't afraid of your ghosts. Ain't nobody tripping about your ghosts. You think that I'm trying to study your ghosts? We can sideline and say your ghosts. Yeah, why would it grab lines from an afterlife? Somebody said that you rhymes from a post site. Try to play it on, set you up for the type. But somebody in this room might understand a lot. What I need is from that wrong. When I need that we do the same. When I ride, let's know I'll be here to come get ride. Don't get it wrong, bro. I'm with King's going back to the slide. Dreams go, never plagiarize. Form a change, more about the young man is family clutching. Now grown man, with the roster, independent. How you gon' act? Road talk back, fresh ghost trap. Y'all swing on your hair, it's the coast. The team said, I'm gonna chase the ghost. Just remember, jumpstart is the Ghostbuster. And I ain't afraid of your ghosts. I ain't afraid of your ghosts. Ain't nobody cares about your ghosts. You think that I'm
And I'm doing it now. I'm working with my man's first.
Y'all think it's salty now? Get enough beverage. Rolling with a team beyond average. Put up another track so savage. I'll be here all day. You got access. We get by, no pain on the surface. Getting by, jump starting our purpose. Don't get nervous. Cause get the chips counted up. They got tax like free flows. So I ain't worried about how you gon' act. I pro-talk back in a fresh ghost trap. Y'all hit me, I'll sway on your hair. It's the team said. Gon' chase the ghost. I'm just a girl who studies the ghost. I ain't afraid to go ghost. I ain't afraid to go ghost. Ain't nobody cares about no ghost. You think death trying to study your ghost. We got our savior ghost. I ain't afraid to go ghost. They tripping. I ain't afraid to go ghost. They tripping. I ain't afraid to go ghost. They tripping. I ain't afraid to go ghost. They bugging. I ain't afraid to go ghost. They back. I ain't afraid to go ghost. I ain't afraid to go ghost. I ain't afraid to go ghost.
Ron in the building.
Yeah.
World of Rama, Street Media, Stella Show. All about people with flowers. Give people their flowers while they're here. So I'm waiting till they gone.
That's right. Waiting for the TikTok. You have to do that.
You got some flowers in the last one.
Be like, yeah, smoking asses. Smoking asses.
I drove by that church the other day. I was like, yo, that's That's world church. That's world church.
Y'all got a nice day.
But you can't hurt this. All you fraudulent scheming, Houdini niggas, hopeless focus. My purpose is to be the focus. Come see in the game. I'm saying not with you. People shitty, third on my name. All the major DJs got my music, but they never
So y'all gotta stop.
put the whole on TV, so that's just a bullshit. Ain't no one that goes to Harvard, it's home, Viola. You ain't even know the stage that just was in the shoulders. All I told you, I'm like Yoda, the OG, kind of soda, plus I'm relevant, and a veteran, and I'm better than. I got bars, you listeners choked up like cinnamon. When I'm performing on stage, it's a different type of adrenaline. I did about 10,000 shows, yeah, a ton of them. I tell you one, don't wait till I'm dead and gone to acknowledge them. Give me my love, but I'm still here. Now when I'm dead, I want my love now. Give me my love, but I'm still here. Now when I'm dead, I want my love all my people Nipsey said the guards on Sharpie dirty prodigy. The every time I smoke chain drugs that run through all that packaging. It's sadness. These guys ain't live long enough to enjoy their legacy. But when they die on surprises and crimes, it's just so fucking beat. See, a real supporter goes support you, not ignore you. When they see you on the ground, and they don't give a fuck, and you don't know enough, and they start running up, and you ask them, and it's like, what, don't keep off my nuts. You rather break a nigga when you down, but when you're loud, you ain't helping them up. Give me my flowers for every year, month, hour, and second. I've been putting out records, all these weeks and these minutes, and I ain't even finished. 3 decades of business, never answered to my kids. Legacy, that's what that is. Jealousy for George Floyd, cause I'm so annoyed that my people still not treated equal. Never murder people, never wanna hurt you back. Not for an eye, not for an act, plus your skull crack. Now how you like that? Give me my love, but I'm still here. Now when I'm dead, I want my love now.
That's right there.
Give me my love, but I'm still here. Now when I'm dead,
Come on.
I want my love now.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go back. Yeah. You know? Yo. So that was Ghostbusters by L, Mr. L, Elmore Beats, and My Flowers by me released. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Leash, man, before we go to Mr. L, because I know he got a lot to say about that song. That song was fire. I like how y'all did that shit over. So, Leash, I want to hear from you because when I look at the footage of us performing that song, right, and the music goes down, and you keep saying the hook, it's like you sound exactly like you sound on the record. Like where do your range come from? Like, how do you?
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you're a church going woman.
Yes, I am.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how long you been singing? First of all,
All
let's
my
ask you
life.
some questions.
Singing all my life.
All my life.
All my life.
Baby, all my life. Yo.
All my life.
Come from a singing family, church family, singing family. Sung in high school. Me and Trina used to sing in high school. We sung the gospel song.
Trina's Miss Fundamentum,
Miss
right?
Fundamentum, yes.
Now, I want you to talk about that too because we played our new record. We're going to play it again today, but we played our new record, which is produced by Fundamentum.
Fundamental Productions, Choir Boy, Kizzy.
Now, talk a little bit about Fundamentum. We need everybody to know about Fundamentum because we
might
got
need Trina to come over and talk more about Fundamental. But you know, he's Fundamental Productions.
Okay.
You know, it's just a group of people, we love music. We starting from the bottom. We starting from the beginning. We do original beats. We produce. We do all that you need.
You sound like you know it all already.
You know, a little something.
So, y'all got a nice little hit there, though.
We got artists. We got Stunner J. We got Malik got killed coming out with hits.
Oh yeah, Malik got killed song.
Malik Fire song. You know his song.
I'm gonna play that.
That's on that. You know that's hot.
I love that song. He was supposed to actually be here today too.
Yeah, he be next week.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I want to do? Being that y'all on this, I kind of want to do like a verses, like, yo, why don't you just get some verses, like some producers, and get their artists to go against the others. Yeah, then verse each other, like, you know, like in a good way.
And they gotta have performance tracks too, and they gotta be
exactly.
Right?
Oh yes, you can't be doing none of that lip sync thing.
Yeah.
So Cameron and them, they play themselves, huh?
Yeah. Jada already said it's done. It's done. Yeah.
So speaking of verses and battling and shit like that, yo, I see you got a belt. What the fuck is that about? Rakim the comedian?
Oh well, you know what I'm saying. The champ is here. That's right. The champ is here. But I got something going on with BCW wrestling coming up on January 22nd. And I'm gonna be doing in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go against one of the wrestlers and all that. Yeah, you can hold the belt. Don't hold it too long.
They got a W on it for world.
That's wrong. Look at you. Yeah.
Get that on video.
BCW.
BCW.
That's right, the Queen of the North.
Don't put it around my waist though.
Yeah. Well, then listen, well, because you ain't the champ.
Just the champ.
But you are champ, you my guy, dog. You're rocking out for a minute. And I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to come over here. Finally, I get to come to Stella Steph show. And next time I'll come with Stella's here, you know. I come here, this dude here. I'm like, yo, Stella, Stella Steph. They're wrestling up for months.
For months.
I'm like, this is my chance for me, though. No, I'm talking about in the studio.
Oh, being on the show with her. Okay.
But yeah, on the 22nd.
January 22nd, where's it gonna be at? Let everybody know.
It's in Jersey. So it's 106 Bergen Avenue, Richfield Park, New Jersey.
Come on out.
There's a lot of wrestling lovers out there too. So you know,
Black owned.
Yeah,
shout out to my dude, Anthony Cole, man. He's
maybe I need to pull up to that.
So
yeah,
BCW,
he wants to do a collaboration with artists. You know how boxers come to the ring with the artists doing the music.
Hey,
so he's gonna do a
I got 15 artists on my label,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. So,
You see how that shit work?
More than one wrestling organization.
Gina, how many artists we got?
We got like 4 in
We got 6 artists. We coming for you. We coming for you.
You said 10, not 6.
We got 10. We got 10. My bad. We got 10 artists.
Which number are you? Which number are you?
And the big shows.
I'm number me. I'm number 1.
Okay. That's right. See?
Why you keep telling what you can't? Shit you did on the grand world.
Number 1.
Right.
You was one of the stuff still talking big shit.
You gonna say we all number 1.
Nah, you ain't never supposed to say you number 2.
push them all. I push them all. I push them all.
Pop in the broom.
Stunner J, what up, Stunner? You out there, Stunner?
What is
on
the
this
lonely
track with
number?
us.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I want to go into real quick that record that we did, No Limit. Leash actually been dealing with Fundamentum for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really close friends and everything like that. So you said to me one day, you was like, "Bro, I'm in the studio on Linden, come through." So I'm like, "All right, cool. I ain't doing that. Let me go see what's up." Y'all in the studio, whatever. I go in there.
Yeah.
Yo, we just was vibing, and it was just a great vibe and everything like that. So is that the day that we did? That's the day we did the song, right?
No, the next day, they brought you back.
Oh, right.
We brought you back because he's like, we liked his vibe. He seemed very cool. He's like, yo, I got something for him. Boom. So he called me and said, yo, I got a beat for World.
Right.
He came in there, and that night you dropped them 16 bars, and the Stunner came one night, one shot. He came and dropped his 16 bars. The Stunner came. He did his magic on his part.
See, matter of fact, I think Stunner was there with me when I did it.
No.
He was there.
He was there. He was there.
But yeah, after I
he
laid
did
mine,
your part.
and
He
then
came back.
Because we thought he was going to do the whole song.
Yeah,
and then he heard Stunner's vibe, and then he was like, "Yo,
he told Stunner, come on in there."
Because that was supposed to be my whole record.
Yeah.
But I like
I was in the process of collaboration.
I'm showing up, and I'm like, "Yo, if
man.
we all working together, we a team. He an artist, get him on it. Throw a verse on it. Plus, it helps me to not have to write so many verses.
Thank you. You know how stressful it was doing a whole album with no features.
Hold on. And I got a shout to B Woody. B Woody, she started writing on it first.
Okay, right.
B Woody, she did it.
So B Woody actually wrote that hook.
She wrote the hook.
Okay,
B Woody wrote the hook. Yes, she did.
That's right.
I gotta give her props. She's dope. She's a dope writer.
See, that's the thing about singers. It's okay for another singer to write the hook or reference in the singing. But it, like, far as rappers, like you said, there's so much limitations on us where a person will write for somebody and they'll kind of be like saying that they're less than a rapper.
Yeah.
It depends on you know, as you move up in the game, you know, the the risk is higher. And as the risk get higher, then you need to bring in more talented people to cross-check and make sure you on cue. Because you commit, it's like, I don't get mad at like, there's a time where Drake had the ghost for Lil Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Because, he had the ghost for him. But it wasn't like it wasn't hidden knowledge. It was just like, I got Drake in the studio to make sure I'm polished because I want my record to go right. And when you're at that level of the game, it's like a mistake cost a lot. So when they come at Drake for being a ghostwriter, it's like, but we listen to Drake more than we listen to me. Like, so what's the problem?
So
you know what I'm saying? And like, I love Drake records. I listen to Drake, but there was a time when nobody wanted to listen to Drake, but then he had to do it on his own and nobody would help him. Like, Best I Ever Had is one of his greatest records and he wrote that. So what are we talking about?
I think since Drake been on, not to make this a Drake show, but since Drake been on, I don't think he ever was not hot.
Yes.
I think all of his 10 years he's been on fire.
I mean, he has some cool records that didn't go, but you don't know about it. But you don't know about it.
His weak shit was weak. Like, he moves on that quickly. He like, nigga. That was weak, but that shit went. Like, it went. It still hit.
The sweater was good for me. But then he had that little blue sweater on. And he was hot.
I don't like the song he got with Jay. So, but everybody loves it. Yeah, it's like post something. It's on. Yeah, he got a song with Jay. I don't like it that much, but people like it.
Yeah, first of all, his songs sneak up on your ass because all of a sudden it's a hit. You be like, "What the fuck? I'm singing this nigga shit. How long shit been hit?" And Drake's songs sneak up on you. They don't just be like,
it's a formula to that repetitive kind of like vibe. They study like the new range. They understand tempo, they know. Sometimes we forget that all this stuff is important for him,
right? No, he's smooth. He's smooth.
But you know,
girls on girls.
I'm okay with it. It's okay. I think it's okay.
It's like singing this shit. You're like, why am I singing this song?
I'll be in the car. I turn the radio on next thing you know, I'm like, girls on girls. And some of the bars, he's just like, for real. If you listen to the song, and some of it, he's like, girls on girls.
Hey, yo.
And you singing that shit, and it's winning.
Yeah.
Because it's more about the harmony and rhythm than it is the words. Like, you
he
put the words in. Every great songwriter knows that you need transitions, you need bridges, you need hooks, and you need things to go up, come back down, and then bring it back to them. Like, Like I started writing my songs where it was, I'll put a 16 in the front, then the next one's 8, and then I'll put a bridge on the end. Because I know you gotta make it easier for people to get through 3 minutes. It's hard to get people's attention for 3 minutes. So if you intend on keeping their attention, you gotta make the song easier and easier and easier for them to listen. So by the end of the song, they're just reciting the chorus and the bridge.
Because you know, back in the days, it was always a hook, 16 hook, 16 hook. That's when it was 3 verses all the time. And it was just the same.
16 is obsolete pretty much.
Like now
you could do a 16,
you could do 12. You could.
A lot of people do 12s, but you know, I'm not really in the 12 world.
Some people don't want to write a lot. They want to just give you like, at least get it to 2 minutes, 2:01, and then the song is over. You know what I'm saying?
People singing it with you. You got something.
Yeah. Once they sing it on TikTok, once they on TikTok and they like this.
And when you guys will be on
TikTok, bro. I got a 9-year-old that knows how to build TikTok.
Sound like you got another business to build.
Yo, listen, this is the second day of 2022. I have some plans for the horse. Like everybody, I wish they was rapping. But what y'all about to see is fucking I can't even explain what it is. But you know, Lisa, let's get back to what you were saying, because I'm about to show people what I'm gonna do with these boys. You know what I mean?
What was I saying?
You were saying something about Fundamentum and you being number 1 out the whole 10 artist group.
I
You said it was all number 1. So at least this new record that we just did, when we gonna get the video done?
ASAP.
Okay.
I'll be in the video.
Yo,
that's right. You gonna come up there?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Hey, yo, I'm actually outsourcing another videographer to come in. Like we're gonna direct me and Leash and Stunner J. We all working on a treatment right now. But I'm gonna have my guy AK40 Devin come out and shoot and edit for me. He's the one that did my Flowers video. So we gonna have him come out. If it ain't broke, we ain't fixing it. You know
that's right. Yeah,
he killed that my Flowers video. So me and Leash's second song, the hit record that we make, we're gonna put it back to work and have him come more with us and stuff. Cause sometimes I don't really have the editing bug like that all the time. I can shoot stuff, but then I don't be feeling like sitting up and monotonously editing, if that's the word.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean, MrL. You know what I mean.
Hey, I send my edits out to, I use Fiverr.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. You shoot shit, you don't want to edit it.
I send it to an editor. I get somebody else's vision. I got like 4 or 5 videos that I did for my albums that when I got the edit done, I was like, nah, that's not what my vision was. So now I push the content to somebody else, get their artistry, and then they bring it back to me as a Premiere file, and then I go in and tweak it. And then I'll send it to a color corrector. Because like I believe that every part of you gotta take care of every part of the product. And like to have the guy that's editing do the color correction and then deal with the sound and then deal with the titles, it's too much work for one guy. But if you could get a guy and say, yo, bro, just focus on the radio edits, give it to another guy to do the complex transitions, get another guy to do the color correction, and then I handle what it sounds like mixed and mastered for video delivery. And then
I'm
we put
glad
it all
you said
together.
that, because a lot of dudes reach out to me for videos and they be wanting videos for like $150, $200. I'll be like, bro,
nah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
for me to come out and film your video alone is more than $200. Then, you know, I gotta sit up with the shit, color correct it, edit it, line up everything together, chop it up like dogs. That's why I kind of lost the editing bug. Like I don't know.
I have, because let me tell you something. You know how many beefs I got into with rappers behind editing? I'd be like, man, fuck all y'all. But can I curse on this?
Yes, you can. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, no, fuck the rappers.
I mean, hey, listen.
And yo, they be angry. You be like, don't edit their shit right. They're like, yo, you know what? I quit.
I got 15 rappers that won't respect that comment.
Yeah, they ain't editing. That's why. I promise you, they're not editing.
I do the polish of the edit. I send the edit out to somebody else. Let somebody else do the tough work. They bring it to me, and then I'll be like, he don't really understand.
But I'm saying this, but he was talking about $150 for $150. What kind of editing job you think you're gonna get?
Well, I pay $150 on Fiverr, but they in Macedonia, $150 is like $1,000 in Macedonia.
We got
He just said it. He said it. Macedonia.
$150 in Macedonia is $1,000 in Macedonia.
Yeah. So now,
I take advantage. I upload all of the raw content with the treatment, and I put it in a Dropbox folder. I send them a link. I go on Fiverr. I said, yo, how much would you do this video for? They go footage. Usually, if it's under 40 minutes worth of footage, they charge you like $200 to edit that. that shit. And you'll have it in 3 to 4 days.
So you rappers go on and do that then.
Yo, you learn a lot of shit on the Stella Steph show. This guy right, yo, I noticed all day you've been talking about your protege.
Proteges. I got a couple of proteges.
Well, hold up. It was somebody that was at one of your listening sessions at BK Lobster. Okay. And I kept looking at this guy like, is this him? And it was him. When he was leaving, I realized this was this motherfucker. And that's fucked up to me as being someone that's 1 year younger than hip hop, because I grew up with this shit and love it so much. I kept staring at this guy. He probably was looking at me like, why the fuck?
Oh, you're talking about my mentor. That's my mentor. I'm his protege.
Right. You're his protege. Right.
I'm his protege.
Say wrong. But who is this guy? Tell everybody who is your mentor.
Sometimes we call him Uncle Joe. Most people call him Mr. Sadler. Hip hop game calls him Grandmaster Flash.
Yo.
Grandmaster
Flash.
Yeah. Hip hop calls him Grandmaster Flash.
How do you know him?
Well, I was mixing his records for a long time. So I knew him about 15 years, and I mixed most of his records, including I actually helped him produce a record that got on the Hobson Shore soundtrack called No One Defeats Us. It was like as soon as the movie ended, our song played, bam. So that was an amazing thing. They flew us out to London and the Curzon Theater for the, what do you call that thing? The premiere party, walk on the red thing. I hung out with Jason Statham and it just didn't show up, but his family was there, so I was chilling with his moms and his aunt. Helen Mueller, I was getting drunk with her nephew because his girlfriend dumped him. So I have an interesting life, bro.
You got a lot of backstory.
So I worked with him. I mixed his records for 15 years, and it's crazy. It's like 5 years ago, I was learning because I did produce music videos for just artists that I was developing. And at the time, I didn't know I was going to have a label. It was just, things just happened. They happened the way they happened. You know what I'm saying? The road is created for you sometimes, you know what I mean? And I was learning the art of documentary style production, filming documentaries so I could have music videos that translate even if you mute the song. And while I learned that, I did this documentary about one of my friends that I knew for 20 years that had kidney replaced. He was on dialysis for 13 years. I didn't know all of these things. Like I learned about my boy that I knew for 20 years. I didn't know all this stuff.
Shout out Mike.
Shout out 718. I didn't know he was going. I didn't know he was going through all of that in his life, getting a kidney replaced, right? And then I put the documentary out, and it got nominated, got an award. It got to his ear. I let him watch it, and he said, "Yo, why you don't do something like that for me?" So I filmed the 8-minute, 9-minute kind of like short documentary for him. He saw it. He said, "Yo, could I do this for my tour intro?" Use it for my. I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, use it." But they had problems syncing it. And one day he just said, "Yo, El, you got your passport?" I didn't have it at the time. Went to get the passport, and that Friday morning he goes, "Yo, you want to come with me to Latvia tonight? I'll have you back home by tomorrow." I'm like, "What?
Wow.
What? Where?" I didn't even know where that was at.
What is that?
It's a former country of Russia. They left Russia. Well, you know, in Czech Republic and all these companies, the Ukraine left Russia. It was smaller countries that divided from the USSR, and Latvia is one of them. And I went out there, and they have literally 2 hours of nighttime. It was crazy. I got there. The show was slotted for just the nighttime.
Yeah, that's funny.
We got there on site. It was dark. The show was done, and we driving back to the hotel, and the sun was coming up. I'm like, "Yo, that's weird, bro." But yeah, ever since then, I've been working with him for 4 years as his. I produce all of his visuals for the tour, and I help produce the show.
And what's this guy's name?
We've done. No, I'm the guy that produces his for Grandmaster Flash.
Oh, for Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah, I produce all of his tours now. So I travel with him everywhere. We do a bunch of shows around the world. We've done over 300 shows. We got 6 global awards now. I had dinner with the King of Sweden 2 years ago because of him.
That's fun.
Televised on TV, chilling next to the First Lady, the Queen. Like, yo,
so we can look this up on YouTube and you'll be right there.
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
If you look up the what's it called? It's like it's equivalent to. It's called the Polar Music Prize. So if you look up the Polar Music Prize of Grandmaster Flash, you see me, Polar Music Prize. You see me there, the only black guy with a bunch of white people clapping.
Oh, that's it.
That Rakim ABBA created the Polar Music Prize. Yeah, they created the Polar Music Prize Award, and they worked with the King and Queen of Sweden to make sure it happens every year. Flash got that as an innovator for hip hop.
So every day, I mean, not every year he goes out.
Well, we're part of the, I guess you call the Polar Music Prize Committee now.
Oh, sweet. So that's dope.
Yeah, so we could go hang out with Casper every time they have the Polar Music Prize. That's all set up, bro. Yeah. So Sweden has been very nice to us.
Oh, that's
I have a lot of great friends there.
Shout out to IKEA.
I know this one here. I know this one. Robbie was supposed to be.
That's all I know about Sweden. IKEA. Putting puzzles together.
I know I got to hurry up and start doing some records.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe in the studio.
Maybe we'll go to Stockholm one day. It's lit up there. Stockholm is a great place, man.
Oh, word.
You ready to go?
Great.
Oh, that's what, yeah, I'm
I
ready
got
to
my
go. Yeah, I'm
passport.
ready. I got my
One of my
passport.
I
favorite
got my
songs.
passport.
I didn't have my
Yeah.
passport.
I'm ready to do it. Hello.
Actually, on the last album, I wrote a song called New Passport because it was based on getting so many stamps on my passport. I had to get another one.
I think you
Yeah.
No,
Right,
that's-
right behind the highest moment of the show
Yeah.
with Hear Me Roar. I had to go after that. Y'all remember that story where Jay-Z's going behind DMX? DMX
Yeah,
kills the
let me
stage
say
and
that.
Jay, oh, your turn, bro. And he's like, what?
Yeah, he's like crying.
You
Yeah,
got people crying
and
on it.
everything.
And then I had to go behind. Like, your turn, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I felt like that night. Hear Me Roar smashed the night. Then I said, I want to bring up L for Hear Me for New Passport. I'm like, what? I got to follow that? All right, let's turn up. Let's turn up.
That's no problem. When all the women got on the stage, they kind of took over.
Oh, they took over.
That
was a takeover.
Hear Me Roar.
It was Hear Me Roar. It was a takeover. I ain't gonna hold
Actually, those clips of that is on my Instagram page.
you. have the greatest footage of that. I said, yo, y'all went on his Instagram. I was like, yo, how did you get that angle?
I was
Yo.
on that. I was like, phones up, you see me.
Yo, we got the great angle. I was like, yo, this shit look good on this Instagram. I didn't even want to post mine. It's like, nah, I'm gonna just share this.
Hear me
It's like, let me just share his clip because he handle this.
You know what somebody told me one day? They was like, yo, bro, when you post certain things, you need to watermark your shits. And I was like, at first I was like, fuck that, I don't care. I'm just posting it.
Yeah,
But then I realized that my page is so influential that people all take from my page. And if they're gonna take from my page, my groundhogtv.com need to be on my shit.
Absolutely.
And I realized that shit, that everybody will take
Absolutely.
from my page,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't have my watermark on shit. So now I gotta, because it's tedious though, because every time you post something, you gotta put it through an editing process in your phone app, put your watermark
I mean,
on
if they
it.
share it through if they're appropriate. If they're appropriate, because when I shared it, I did it appropriately.
Of course,
When you share it, it says Grind Hard TV right there in the bottom. Some people don't share it appropriately.
They just steal it how they want to steal it.
Just to be clear on why watermarks exist for y'all media snatchers.
Right. People like what?
So make sure you don't steal my content.
So if you want to take it and repost it, my shit is on it, so they know what you got.
I'll take your watermark out.
I know. Same here. That video that you see.
This is the reason why sometimes I don't put my shit too low, because somebody just crop this shit right out.
Some people
You know what I'm saying? Really? You gotta crop the line out.
Exactly.
No,
Don't put it there, bro.
I'll put my shit through the middle.
I actually said that on one of my records access. I talk about people cropping me out of the credits.
Oh, that's crazy.
I seen the big post and I was cropped.
So this new album, Jumpstart, that you got out right now.
Jumpstart.
So you're gonna be touring around the world with this project.
Absolutely.
So are you bringing all of the features that's on these albums?
No
with you?
features on this album.
Or it's just you on the whole
Just
thing?
me. So when the inception of the album, the commissioner looked at me and said, there are people out there thinking that the people that are featuring on your records are writing your records. And they don't know that I'm a producer first and I select the pieces and components and parts that belong to any songs that I produce for myself as an artist. It took me 2 years to figure out what type of artist that I am, and it cost me $20,000. Because I experimented with a lot of things, I trusted myself, and I went on instinct on some things, I made some mistakes, and then I came back to it and I fixed it. So that's why I'm at my 4th album now. A lot of people don't know that in 2 years I released 4 albums.
Oh, nice.
I got the Drowsy album that came out about 2 years ago. That was the first one. It was the inception because I wanted to celebrate the bliss, the ignorance that I know I still examine in my life.
Right.
I know that I'm making mistakes, and I know that there are ignorances that I enjoy, and I'm gonna hold to those. So that's the Drowsy album's about that. Then I circled back because during the pandemic and George Floyd's murder, I was like, people need to be reminded why they need to go and vote. We're still angry. Because in March, we wanted to turn the city upside down. And then in October, people was chilling like, I don't know who I'm gonna vote for. Oh, you forgot? It starts now. It was originally called The Riot Starts Now, but I said, no, the riot starts after that insurrection I predicted. Didn't I predict that? I predicted that. So I was like, I called it It Starts Now, and it's about the connection to the Black man's experience to police brutality. Hold up, let me make this clear. The Black man's experience to police brutality. Everybody try to deflect and talk about everything else. Police brutality is a thing. The Black man is the #1 target for America's police department. Let's not get it twisted. Stop playing.
Yeah, I know police.
It Starts Now is about that.
The police department was put together
Yeah, to
catch
manage.
black slaves.
Yeah, it was.
That's like once slavery was supposed to be abolished.
They
That's
created
when
that.
that's when all of the laws like no soliciting, no laundering, all of the minor ass laws were built just to catch slaves out doing, because they know once black slaves were released, where the fuck was they going?
Right.
Where was they going? They was brought into this country in chains and bounds and then put on a plantation. And once they were supposed to be free, where the fuck was they going? So laws was made just so they can be caught and thrown in jail, because in the Constitution, it says if you are imprisoned, you are now
no longer free,
and you will
no
not be
longer
treated
free.
in a slave mentality.
Yes.
So the police were formed to catch black people
to take
that were
their
supposed to
freedom
be
away.
free and put them in jail. And that's why in jail you see in all of these movies they have dudes hitting rocks with mallets and doing slave work. This is what this was all about. So if you look in a police logo, there's actually a slave master with a whip. And people don't even pay attention. This is why, since the inception of police, black people has always been treated wrongfully, because the cops were formed to throw black people in jail. Like, I don't understand why people is not even getting
know your rights. And
you know what I'm saying?
Understand. So
you need to
I did a third album.
After what you saying.
The third album, I put that out because of the pandemic and all of the social issues we were dealing with, right? In America. I said, you know what? Let's bring that song, let's bring it back to where we used to party. Before all of this, I wanted to focus on positive energy. How were we before those moments? That album was strictly constructed, and I called it Before It Started, and I talk about the things that happened before I became an artist, the things that happened before it starts now. And now I'm on to Jumpstart, because I want to ignite the next year, and I'm taking all the energy from a song on Before It Started record called Don't Judge Me, and I want to jumpstart 2022 with the 15 artists that I'm building and the more that's being added every day. Expanding it every single day. I get calls all the time, L, how can I get on your roster? L, how can I get on your roster? And then I give people what the criteria is. I help them understand our questionnaire process. We understand that it takes 90 working hours and 12 meeting hours to produce an album that has 9 songs. We have a process and a workflow that works, and I proved
like a machine.
I proved it over 12 months that it could get done. If you commit to the 90 working, this is why I used to work hours, not days. 90 working hours.
But you grind.
I hear people tell me all the time, I've been doing music for 20 years. How many hours have you put in? And I talk about flight hours all the time. You ain't getting in no cockpit with no airport pilot if he ain't got his 40,000 flight hours.
Hello.
That's what I'm talking about. So everybody that want to do this, understand your flight hours. That's why I have 4 albums.
Yo, the first show of the year, it turned into such an educational learning experience that
I feel like I want to be a rapper now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now, what's up? You got 102
I got another question for you. What do you feel about rap as being considered the most dangerous job now?
It is. That's what I was about to say.
It depends on your circle. It's really about the network you create for yourself. They say you live by the sword you die by, right? And it's biblical force. We all understand that, right?
Yep.
So it's not rap that's doing it. It's our networks that's doing it. They always try to put blemishes on something that's positive, that's reinforcing and creating income and wealth for the Black community, and say it's rap's fault. It's not rap's fault. It's the network's fault.
Well, you know what? If you keep signing gang members,
the label will continue to shine.
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
saying.
labels, they want that.
Right.
So like, listen, you know, I'm not gonna get into Busy Bone's statement. When you get a chance, look up Busy Bone talking about the state of hip hop and how it made the transition from Nubian experiences to gangster experiences. I'm gonna just send you there. I'm not gonna talk on that. That's not my platform. I ain't Colin Kaepernick today.
Well, you kind of were today. You were kind of.
No. I talk about completion. I talk about getting it done, understanding your goals,
You dropped a lot of
lining up your tasks. I want everybody to be successful.
A lot of people didn't know that they could go to where was it, Russia or somewhere? Latvia. Nobody knew about Latvia.
It was Latvia was 20,000 people. I looked out the curtain and I saw 20,000 people watching my mentor, and I said, God damn. I could do this.
Grandmaster Flash.
Yes.
Okay, let's get it right.
20,000.
Let the people know that you run around with Grandmaster Flash and tour with
Okay. All right, let me just put this out there. I don't really see you. We've known each other for a while. Right. I really don't tell people who I work with and what circles, because right. So it's like, you know, I know, but I think it's important for people to respect me for my experience, my
Exactly.
mentality, and my ability to get it done rather than who I've done it
Who
for.
have done it.
Because there are other people that I could name today, but why do that? There's
Right,
people I've
right.
ghosted for, so I know the ghost process.
Right.
But that's not, that's not my MO. I don't move like that. Like, and the people that I've helped generate income know who I am.
Right.
And you could choose to credit me or not.
Well,
And I prefer them to give me the
well,
credit.
I'm here to give you your flowers. That's why you ain't on this show.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Just
giving you
make
your
sure
flowers. So
you
I don't know. You sound so intelligent and
Take
knowledgeable
flowers.
about the business. People could know, but I want people to know who are some of the living
Oh.
legends that you work with and run around the world.
Yeah,
with.
right. I was just with him. I just did a Happy New Year's party.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
big right there. So look, we're gonna go into some music, but
My
before
invoice
we,
is coming.
before we do that, I want everybody to give their social medias and how they can find you and things that I saw, because we winding down towards the end. And I want to get a couple more records on here. So I want you to say, you know what I'm saying, where they can find you, which is Saturdays with Mr. L.
Saturdays with Mr. L is where you find me. I got a radio platform just like this where you was hanging out with me. It's called Saturdays with Mr. L. We're here every Saturday at Newtown Radio. So it's at Saturdays with Mr. L. You could just spell it out right there without the dot. And then Mr. L, Mr.L_Jumpstart. So I usually just put my album's name behind that name. Mr.L_Jumpstart, new album. Follow me there on Instagram. And then my last Instagram is for the label called More Beats, MOREBEATS. I separate it all out because some people just want to see the label and the artist on the label.
Right.
Some people want to hear me, and some people want to be connected to my radio platform.
And some artists got to know that if they come in your studio and they don't got a performance rights company like BMI, whatever, they are not coming in there.
Well, I'm gonna be. I've when they walked in and they did an interesting record and they wanted to do something that I wanted to be connected to, I sat right there and helped them set it up.
Okay,
that's what's
so you not only just
we go right to the website and say this is where you can get it for free. This is where you gotta pay.
Look,
There's two places you can get your writers connected for free or for fee. And I can show you both things. When you come to my studio, I'll show you all that.
See, look, this is really dope show. This is really cool.
See? Go ahead, Rakim, tell them about you.
Rakim the comedian, RAKIM the comedian, and I don't post, so fuck. So why you gonna go there?
I'll post for you.
I'll post when I show up. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'll post when I show up. Like, tag me. I don't know none of this shit. I'm older now. My eyes are fucking weak. I can't even look at these little ass fucking texts.
That's why you got
That's why the shades is on.
Take off that bloody belt.
Yo, come on. I'm not looking at me when that somebody said, look at this, and you be like, pull that phone back.
Tell them about that event that's coming up.
Oh yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah, the BCW Queen of the North, and then it's gonna be in Bergen Avenue, Richfield Park, New Jersey, on the 22nd. And then I posted on my page too. Like I do post the flyers and stuff like that, But catch me where your favorite comedians at, because I'm always at their shows.
All right, being funnier than them.
Exactly. Yeah, right. I'm just glad you said it. I ain't about to say that.
Let me do the dirty work. Like you're at these shows being funnier than them. So Leash, tell everybody what's up with you, where they can find you, and what's going on with you next.
Leisha _Leisha on IG, and Fundamental Productions on IG, and Fundamental Productions at gmail.com.
And remember,
I'm out here. You're gonna see me roll the rhyme on our new song, No Limits.
Nice,
Featuring Stunner J.
Right. Produced by Fundamental Productions.
Fundamental Productions on everything. Quiet Boy, B Woody.
Video be shot again by AK-40.
Stunner J.
Produced by
Kizzy, Trina over there.
No, that's what's up. Yeah, y'all teamed up.
Malik got killed. He about to drop it. Come out here with his new song next week.
I think he keep running with that record still though.
Like, that's still
that record didn't get enough momentum yet before y'all want to just. Because this
he
another
got
thing.
One, he got that one, and he got one with Stunner J also. So fire also.
I don't want. This is one thing I don't want artists to do. I don't want y'all to get into the thing where you feel like you gotta put a record out, and if it don't do what you think it did within that first 2-3 weeks, you just shelf it.
So that one just started. I think we should shoot a video on that one, right, Trina?
You know what I'm saying?
That's on that.
You gotta
work that out. Like look at Lizzo, for instance. That album was created 2 years ago, and then the label went back and said, wait, we missed our opportunity to really sell this. And they remarketed the album, and look at the exposure you saw.
This is 2 years later.
2 years later. So
2 years later.
A lot of times you just ahead of your ahead of the trend. And what you could be tomorrow's trend if you work the record.
Yes.
Like Jay-Z didn't make it until he worked In My Lifetime for a year.
Okay.
He was on that boat for a year.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. You gotta grind it. You gotta find the audience for
Well, you
your work.
said 90 hours, so look, if you don't have
90 hours, that's the creative.
Oh, the creative. So look,
Just the creative. 90 working hours and 12 meeting hours.
Where your album at? You must have comedy
Yeah, I
great
do.
something, right?
I'm working on that right now.
All
Actually,
right.
that's why I don't post so much.
You just talking to me
Yeah.
about that.
All
That's
right.
why I don't be posting none of the stuff.
So you need a house to master it. So there's
There it
different
is.
platforms.
Bam.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you some tracks
Yes,
behind us?
yes.
Do you some
Yes, I
tracks
do.
behind us?
Look. I'm all in on this.
You all in on this? That's right.
Jumpstart. I'm in.
We got you.
Yo, I appreciate that. Stella Show, Brother Mama.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna go into
I'm the new hall.
I'm the new hall.
Like Daddy. Yeah, that's Daddy. I'm his son too.
Y'all broke a lot of niggas, y'all. So look, we're gonna go into a couple more records and then we're gonna see y'all next week. This is the Stella Steph Show, World of Rama, Alicia Leash, MrL, Rakim the Comedian, SB Media. We in here, y'all.
Could you rock that access form when you get a chance?
What?
Access.
Access? Oh,
Yeah, rock that form.
All right.
Because it's all about giving access to everybody. That's what we're doing. That's what
All
we're doing in 2022. We're giving access to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Happy New Year to everyone
It's a
out
good
there.
day, man. January 2nd with World of Rama on the Stella Steph Show.
Not nips. Dude said I got nips.
It's a payment. I need to play no window. I'm popping nips, y'all.
Not looking for the easy bags. Let's motivate the tri-state. Gotta make it last. No brakes on the interstate. Hit the home fast. Let it get loud. That's the blast. Bullets in the past. Can't put up info on the critics, so I wrote relative lyric. I'm rebellious with the spirit. Disconnection with a kid. I'm artist. We cool with it. Don't answer the vibe. We're sharing the different sacks. Make room for a little bit of access. Always ready for that. Just take sound and count the access. Don't share the different sacks. Make room for a little bit of access. Always ready for that. Just sound and count the access. They know it's me.
I feel like that's what I want to
That was way before it started. Now we don't look for parking. Got the momentum. These moments are for sure.
I told her that shit, y'all.
They have the spot already. And hold on, 150 to 200. So we're going to be 20 So this communication with me.
Yeah, you know where we should.
I'm gonna come to the studio tomorrow. You talking about? I'm coming right there. Yeah, maybe in America. Maybe in America. Coming right to y'all for that. Hey, out there. Let's go again. Let's do it. I'm gonna have what I want. Take everything I want. Cause I'm a go nigga, about my figures and chips. And I'm over with no nigga. Once I'm here, my kids. Generational wealth. It's education and health. That's why my presence is young. I rock the mic in the middle. From the mental transition, not the mental. This police always weapons. Keep a step and no longer listen. convenience stores just keep the dog as I want it. I'm not just rapping, I'm talking. And you just laugh as I'm talking. You'll get trapped, so stop fronting. And I'm so black as we bustin'. None of my team got the touching. That's word to my mother, father, my brother, sister, and cousin. You thought you was, but you wasn't. Really be bugging. These nuts you really be hugging. With the script that you make, no limits like Master P. I run first with the verse, and son of J first bars after me. Master E, spitting flip, QGTM, quick get them money.
You can get what you want, there's no limit. Go and get it. And so you give out. You can get what you want.
Good stuff. Got it.
So go and get it. You want it,
See, the devil got my mind torn. I'm just trying to ball, baby, got the wrong ball. You say I'm put my name up in the Hall of Fame. The only one to pop out the bunch, special veins. I'ma teach you how to ball, know the game. I put feeling in the shit, so you know. Get it. All these haters ain't with it. They never admit it. I'm sure I'm a killer. You can have what you want. The sky's the limit. I watch niggas give up on the sugar. They hate it. That's how you go. Certain niggas that'll never last.
Yo, MrL, jumpstart the building in the building. Rakim, the comedian in the building. Stella, steph. Happy 17th anniversary. Keep shopping, do records for y'all. No limit. Happening right now. I'm back there. Now over here in the corner. I'm never in the spotlight, baby.
I saw that he dipped. He was like, fuck out of here, Al. Fuck out of here.
Police dog. Yeah, when you went
Over 100.
That's all right.
I'm gonna be a part of it. I'll come to Mount Documenters. The people want to put your own part of that. I'm in Northside for the PM. Tell them they go take me.
Let me shoot it out like it. Let me put it out like it. When leaving me, you need to stop it. If you wanna go, we can rock it.
That's the inside of business. Oh, that's right there. That's a baby. Right here. That's the spot.
That's all right.
Yeah. To the fire, right? Fundamental.
Boy, Malik, he got 9 of them. That's the first one. And they're doing their streams.
I'm telling you, this is the one. This is the one. I'm telling y'all.
Son of Jay is the one that's
Son is on the next one, right?
That record right there, y'all. This one more record, y'all. This Dennis Kelvin right here. So I thought you wanted Dennis Kelvin out of Queens.
I move different. I move different. I move different. I move different. I move different.
Dennis Kelvin.
I move different. 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 I don't do clubs, I know everything's outside. Surrounded by all out of terrorists. I make me nervous, less and less. I don't talk much unless I'm talking with accountants. You do it for the income. I do it for the outcome. Just because you're doing a lot. But I don't mean getting a lot done. I never put a towel on my face. Left about catching the case around my ace. I don't change things, I make the chips. I got good debt with a couple of few investments at low interest rates. They ain't I'll be like, hey, what's up under that skirt? The music is exclusive, like you said. Take you in for the 2-step. I moved there. I moved there. I moved there. Yeah, I moved there. I moved there. I moved different. I move 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 different. You post up a lot on IG. Me, I'll post up on your blog. I'm a G. I don't DM when you on social media either. I pull up on them. It's easier for me to be with her. You rap. I spit. You click clap. That hit. You wanna hold 10 chains of the past ride. I wanna hold like 10 chains of a franchise. And I go by. I'm about to lease that car, homie. No mind. To me, it sort of makes sense. But no, come here. I pop in and out. Yeah, pop purpose. Pop up, perk up, yes. I do it very useless. I move different. 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 I move different.
That's it. That's it. All right, show's over, y'all.
All right.
1 hour a day.
I can.
Last one took me 1 month. Before it started, it took me 1 month. This album took me 4 months.
I mean, I think about it. Right now, I just do collabos, do tracks, or whatever people need.
I probably did more than 90 hours on this album. That's all because the stakes changed. One of the projects. It's just like
On Facebook,
Don't forget, you gotta take pictures.
yeah, we definitely do that. On Facebook, it'll say post and delete in 30 days. I'm like, no, when I do my lives staying up forever.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they say, no, you say that. Do you want to delete it in 30 days? No, I want my shit